Children, today we will be discussing the solution of the questions which are being asked in your half-yearly examination question paper. Okay, so in the first question it was given that when a rate of GST is decreases from 18% to 12% of a swing thread, Rahul pays 600 less for it. What is the listed price of the thread, right? Now, the decrease in percentage of GST, it is given that when it is decreases from 18 to 12, that means how much less he has to pay now? 6% less. 6%. Of course, GST is calculated on the mark price or the list price of the article or the product, right? And here the decrease in price is 600 rupees. That means 600, if the list price of the swing thread is rupees X, let's assume that X with the list price of the swing thread, that means 6% of X is what? 600. So if we calculate 6% of X, it will be 6 upon 100 into X. On cross multiplying, we'll get X into X equals to 600 into 100 upon 6. So 6 into 600 upon 6, it will be 100. 100 into 100, it will be 10,000. That means the list price of the thread is rupees 10,000. All right. So this is the solution of the first sum. Note down, please. Now let's see another sum, children. In this sum, it is given that show that the following in equation and solve the following in equation and represent the solution on the number line. Okay, and the inequality that is given to us is 4x minus 19 less than 3x by 5 minus 2 less than equals to minus 2 by 5 plus x, and x belongs to real numbers. So if we have to solve the inequality, so first we compare these two terms. It will be 4x minus 19 less than 3x minus 5 minus 2. So what I have done here, I have transferred this 3x by 5 this side and minus 19 this side. So minus 19 minus 2, it will be minus 19. When we transfer this side, it will become plus 19, right? 19 minus 2 is 17. And here 4x minus 3x by 5. So 4 5 is 20 minus 3, it will be 17x upon 5. When we cross multiply, 17 will get cancelled, will get x is less than 5, right? Let's see when we equate these two terms. So it will be 3x by 5 minus 2 less than equals to minus 2 by 5 plus x. Now transfer this minus 2 by 5 this side and 3x by 5 this side. So here it will become x minus 2 plus, this minus will become plus when transferred this side. Minus 2 plus 2 by 5 less than equals to x minus 3 by 5 plus 3x by 5 will become minus 3x by 5. On taking a LCM, we'll get 2x by 5, right? And 2 5s are 10 plus minus 10 plus 2, it will be minus 8 by 5. So this 5 and 5 will get cancelled. 2 1s are and 2 4s are 8. So we'll get minus 4 here. That means x is greater than equals to minus 4 and x is less than 5. So we can write this in self-diddle form solution x such that x is greater than equals to minus 4 less than 5, x belongs to real number. So when we plot this inequality, this solution on number line, you can see that when x is real number, that means all the numbers between minus 4 and 5 are the solution, belongs to the range of x, right? And x is equals to minus 4, so at minus 4 we'll be drawing the dark circle, and 5 is not included, so we'll be only drawing the circle at 5, okay? And all the numbers, we darken the line, that means all the numbers belongs to the solution of this inequality. Understood, children? This is the correct way of drawing number line. Try to learn this, okay? Otherwise you will not get marks. Whenever 5 is given, one more digit is also included. You have to draw an inequality up to 6. Note down the solution, please. Let's see another sum, children. Now here it is given that if A is to B, 6 is to 7 and B is to C, 8 is to 9. Find A is to B is to C, right? Now A is to B, 6 is to 7 and B is to C is 8 is to 9. Whenever we have to solve this type of sum, we must observe that what term is common in both the ratios. You can see that B is common. Here it is given A is to B and here it is given B is to C. That means in this ratio the value of B is 7 and in this ratio the value of B is 8, right? So what we'll do, we'll make the value of B equal in both the ratios so that we can equate the other remaining parts of the ratio. So the LCM of 7 and 8 is 56. So how we can make this 7 as 56? By multiplying 8 in both the terms, right? So when we multiply 8 in 6, we will get 6 8s are 48 and 56. Now when we multiply 7 here, in both the ratios? We know that it's the property of ratio that we can multiply or divide by any number in both the ratios. That will not affect the result. So when we multiply 7 in both the terms, we'll get 7 8s are 56 and 7 9s are 63. Now you can see that the value of B here and here is same as 56. We can compare the remaining parts or remaining terms. That means the value of A is to B is to C will now become 48 is to 56 is to 63. Alright, please note down. Okay children, let's see the solution of fourth sum. In this sum it is given that find the value of K if x minus 2 is a factor of x cube plus 2x square minus kx plus 10. Hence determined x plus 5 is also a factor. So if we have to show that x minus 2 is a factor, that means if x minus, when we do x minus 2 equals 0, the value of x will come 2. Okay, and the value of f function is given as x cube plus 2x square minus kx plus 10. If we put x equals to 2 here in this term, the value of the result of this function will be 0 because x minus 2 is a factor, it is given. So when I have substituted 2 here, the result will become 0. So it will become 2 cube is 8, 2 square 2 to the 4 to the 8, 2 into minus k, it will be minus 2k plus 10 equals to 0. So minus 2k transfer this side, 2k equals to 26, so the value of k will come 13. Now the value of fx will come when we substitute the value of k here, it will be x cube plus 2x square minus 13x plus 10. Now we have to check that whether x plus 5 is a factor or not. So the value of x, when we put x plus 5 equals 0, the value of x will be obtained as minus 5. So when we put x equals to minus 5 here in fx and try to simplify the value, then what we'll get? Minus 5 cube, it will be minus 125. Minus 5 square will be 25. 2 is 50 plus 50. Minus 5 into minus 13 is plus 65 and plus 10. So plus 50 plus 65 plus 10, it will be plus 125. And minus 110, both will get cancelled. The result is 0. That means when we put x equals to minus 5, the remainder is 0. And when the remainder is 0, we can say that x plus 5 is a factor of the expression fx. Alright. Okay children, let's discuss question number 5. In this it is given that solve for x and y. The matrix are given as 3 minus 4 1 2 into matrix xy equals to matrix first in only one column 3 and 11. Now let's see the solution children. The first matrix is of order 2 by 2. Second matrix has 2 rows and 1 column. Right. So you can see that the number of column of first matrix and number of rows of second matrix are same. So that means multiplication is possible. So when we multiply row and column, what we'll get? 3x minus 4y and 1 into x plus 2y. This row, this column, this row, this column, right? So when we equate the rows and column, what we'll get? 3x minus 4y equals to 3 and x plus 2y equals to 11. Okay. Now these are the two equations that we have obtained. Now you can see that when we multiply 2 in the second equation, what we'll get? 2x plus 4y equals to 22. Okay, and the first equation is 3x minus 4y equals to 3. So when we add these two equations, this 4y term will get cancelled. 2x and 3x will be 5x and 22 plus 3 will be 25. So the value of x is 5. So what we'll say that on substituting the value of x in equation 2, which is x plus 2y equals to 11, will be 5 plus 2y equals to 11. So the value of y will be 3. Alright, please note down. Let's see the sixth sum. In this sum it is given that find the eighth term from the end of the AP 7, 10, 13 and so on up to 184. That means eighth term from the end we have to calculate in the given arithmetic progression. So what we'll do, we'll make the last term as the first term. Okay. So when we interchange the last term as the first term, so in this series, if we have a calculating 8th term from the end, so when we interchange as the first and last term and second last term as the second term, so in this series it will become 8th term from the beginning. Don't get confused. Okay. Now the value of the first term in this series, when we have interchange the first and last term and second last term. Okay. We have started the series from the back, from here. So from here it is the first term 7, 10, 13. If we start the series from here, the first term will be 184, 181, 178 and so on up to 13, 10, 7 like this. So in this series, the first term is 184. The common difference D will be 181 minus 184, it will be minus 3. So now we have to calculate the 8th term, it will be A plus 7D. A is 184 plus 7 into minus 3. It will be minus 21. So 184 minus 21, it will be 63. So the value of 8th term from the end in this series will be 163. Alright children, note down please. Let's see another sum children. Now in this sum it is given that the radius and the slant height of a cone are in the ratio 4:7. If its curved surface area is 792 cm square, find its radius. Use pi equals to 22 upon 7. Now ratio is given 4:7. So what we'll do, we'll assume let x be any constant. So we say that if radius equals to 4x, then slant height will be 7x. Slant height is L, represented by L. So what is the formula of curved surface area, which is pi RL? That means the value of pi RL, the curved surface area of the cone is given 792 centimeters square. So if we substitute the value of R and L here, R is 4L and slant height L is 7x. So this 7 and 7 will get cancelled. So x into x will get x square, and this 22 into 4 will get cross multiplied. So 11 to the 22 and 11 7 is 77 to the 22. 72 will get. So 4 to the 8 and 8 9 is 72. That means the value of x square further obtained is 9. Taking square root both sides, the value of x will be under root 9 or 3. So radius, we have calculated the value of x. Radius is 4x. So 4 into 3, it will be 12 centimeter. Alright, please note down. Let's see another sum children. Now in this sum is from probability. In this sum it says that find the probability of having 53 Thursdays in a non-leap year. Okay. Now we know that the number of days in a non-leap year is 365 days, which is 52 weeks and 1 day. Okay. So we can say that we know that 1 week has 1 Thursday. So 52 weeks will be having 52 Thursdays. Now the issue is left for only one remaining day, has to be Thursday, to find the probability that the one remaining day of the leap year, the last day of the leap year will be the Thursday. So what are the favorable events that can happen for this day? The one day, the remaining day could be Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday or Saturday. And what is the favorable event? Only one day, that it has to be Thursday. So that probability of will get 53 Thursdays, right? So number of favorable event is only 1, and sample space we have 7 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So sample space 7. So probability of happening the event will be 1 by 7. Understood? Note down please.